All right, well, I'm Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas. I'm going to provide a brief initial update about a critical incident that occurred here in Clement Park behind me. I want to forewarn that I'm going to give some very basic information relative to this incident just because the investigation is going to be completed by the Jeffco CERT team. So many of those answers that you'll probably be seeking will be answered by them at some point in time. So what I can tell you is that this incident did start in Denver. There was a location that officers were called to at roughly Lowell and Saratoga, where they were told that there was an armed individual at that location that had a felony warrant and potentially was involved in another violent crime. Officers arrived at that location and saw this person enter a vehicle. That vehicle was followed to roughly to a Pierce address where Bowles and Pierce, where a felony stop was attempted at that location. The suspect then jumped from the vehicle, did appear to have a weapon in hand. Pursuit ensued, a foot pursuit ensued into the park. At this time, we know that there were a number of officers that were present at the onset of force. Lethal force was used after attempts at non-lethal force were employed, which were ineffective essentially. Ultimately, lethal force was used. The party did go down. Officers attempted to render some medical aid and was able to secure that individual. He was transported to a hospital, an area hospital, and as I understand it, is currently in stable condition. So again, what I can tell you is that the Jeffco CERT team was notified immediately. Members of that team have arrived and have begun an investigation, and it is now in their hands.
Was it a routine patrol vehicle that was following and engaged initially? Can you talk about that?
So what I can tell you is that we had a number of District 4 units that responded to the initial location, both unmarked and marked. But we did not attempt to make a stop of that individual until marked units were in place. They are the ones that initiated the stop and engaged in the foot pursuit.
And did you say the report was that this suspect was about to engage in another crime, violent crime, or was engaging in violent crime?
The information that we received was that they had potentially been involved in another crime, not in our city, but we also knew that they were involved, that they were a suspect, had a warrant for a felony crime in Denver.
So basically, you got to call it this person was at this location.
Yes.
Not necessarily committing a crime at this location.
That's correct.
Was at that location.
That is correct.
Got a report that there was a vehicle involved with 2 women in it. Can you address that at all?
That's probably a better question for the Jeffco CERT team. I mean, we do know that there were other individuals that were in the vehicle that the suspect jumped into, and I believe that they did flee that vehicle as well.
So he stole a car. Did he steal that car?
That's unknown. That's unknown.
And did he at any point fire a weapon at the police?
Again, unknown.
And where was he hit?
I don't know that either. Those, again, are questions that I think are better asked of the Jeffco CERT team.
Did you recover a gun from him?
We did find a weapon at the scene of the shooting, yes.
Can you describe generally what the weapon was?
I cannot.
Is that scene pretty much over this area?
Yes, so foot pursuit from Pierce and Bowles all the way to that location there, that is where the forced incident occurred.
Is it your understanding the injuries appear to be non-life-threatening?
Well, I can tell you that officers rendered medical aid, I think, that were helpful in saving that individual's life, so he is currently in stable condition.
Do you have his name? Are you going to release his name? Suspect's name?
I believe that's going to be up to the First Judicial District DA.
What do you want the public to know about the area?
Well, certainly there's a concern because of a skate park nearby, a park that was not activated at the time. But certainly I understand there's a concern for people being in the neighborhood. That was a concern when the stop was initiated where it was. We wanted to initiate that stop far away from this. It was the suspect who ran to this location, potentially putting other people in danger. Thankfully, there were no other individuals that were nearby that could be harmed.
Do you know if the library or the school went in lock-in mode or whatever the phrase is?
I don't know specifically, but I would imagine that's part of their protocol just to keep everyone safe.
And do you know roughly how many of your officers were involved from start to finish?
I don't. I know that we had a number of officers here, and a number of those officers did participate in lethal force.
Do you know how many of your officers fired?
I don't.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thank you.